Greetings, gamers. This is another week of Honorbound with our beautiful, beautiful players here to jump into a brand new escapade. We are going to do looking at the second time of the downtime rules on here. I think we've got them pretty well hammered out. We just got done. Um, Boy, what didn't happen last escapade? Hey, ships can be alive and they can want freedom and fly off into space. People can be real jerks and get kicked off those ships into space that may or may not show up again. People from the past can show up to be crushes that are now permanent fixtures in their lives. There can be hints about maybe you're not exactly who you think you are. And there's also the ties to the warp and the weft of this crazy cosmos that we have put together, along with a cabal of bishops studying an Iliod that has these zombie fungus attached to it that are plotting something probably not great. But you know what? That's already happened. You guys, good job. You did your job, and what that means, you get to live in the Grand Alliance for free. That's part of the agreement. I think everyone's going to have either some sort of bracelet or a tablet of some sort that says that you are a part of the Grand Alliance. Okay. And you have to show that whenever you want to use it. So this society is very much a kind of social society. Not social, that's not what I meant. Where you've already done all of your work because you're doing the dangerous stuff. So you go into a grocery shop, you just use this tag, and you just pick out whatever groceries you want. You can go to a bar, you can get drinks, just use the thing. No big deal, because it says you're part of the Grand Alliance. You have done your work. You're a citizen. You've done it. And you guys now get to do that until the next mission comes up. You get to enjoy yourself. This is all part of the relaxation and the calm down. I'm going to go around the horn real quick, and I want to ask your characters how you feel now that we are getting a time to relax a little bit. And if you want to, while you're looking at that, um, oh shoot, I forgot I should follow my own rules. First thing we need to do, we need to advance the warp. If you need a little heads up on that, I'm going to pull that up on my side so people can see it. If you pull up the Covenant tab of the character sheets, you will see all the way onto the right column what's happening in the warp. There are 5 things. Nope, that shouldn't be on there. There are 4 things that are happening in the universe. And now each of you has to introduce another new thing into the universe or progress one of the old things. And it doesn't have to be the thing that you originally brought up. It can be like, you know what, that thing I really liked, and I think that story needs to move forward. Okay. So currently in the what's happening in the warp, we've got the two free city states that are Zooey factions going to war over some resources. We've got the Voice of the Cosmos, which is kind of a peaceful pirate radio thing going on right now. There's a massive music festival being planned at some time in some location. There's also a vote to make gambling illegal in the Grand Alliance, which has got people on both sides trying to figure out whether that's a good thing or a bad thing. Because in this utopian type society, can you willingly just give away your jewels, your work, right? Should the system just, well, hey, you work as, well, let's say a chef, right? And you put in your week's work, great. That means you just go out in society and just live how you want to live. Well, can you just get rid of that? And it's causing a lot of these weird ethical things they haven't run into before because it's the formation of the society. So, taking a look at this, would does anyone have anything off the top of their head that they'd like to introduce to the universe? I will kick us off then. Something that you guys mentioned at the beginning of the last escapade, actually, I thought was really interesting. I think there is a food source that is a kind of it's a living, sentient food source, but it doesn't seem to care. So like it has no empathy, it has no pain receptors. And if it's like, well, is it okay if we eat you or whatever? It's like, yeah, all right. Like, so I'm gonna introduce that in the world. It's a little. I should have probably worked on this one a little bit to make it a little bit more Three Musketeers. Like, there is. You know what? I think I should. Maybe I'll change that. I will change that. Something I'll just put in the background though.
Well, I was gonna say it doesn't care, but there is like a group of people that are like saying it should care and we should care about it.
Yeah, we can leave that one in if you like. I think that's pretty
Phew,
funny.
I like it, but like I'm envisioning. I mean, it's like Pew in Harry Potter. Like most elves don't care; they're happy to be the workers in the society. And Hermione's like, "Heck yes, we gotta give them equal rights." Like she's not wrong, but also like they don't care for the most part.
Yeah.
Somebody is speaking for them who does care.
Mhm.
It's still kind of Three Musketeers because it's got the like we gotta protect the vulnerable aspect to it.
Sure. Like maybe that could be the next thing you go after. Okay, yeah, I'll leave it in. Um, I was gonna say, you know what? I think since we were talking about Miltharian, I think the latest, and also topical, the latest Miltharian leader has died. And so what happens is that everyone said like, oh, there's the person that's called the Milthar, was a real person, had these amazing powers, and can grant them out and teach us those waves. But the thing is, this Milthar person has been alive for eons, and if you look at the scripture, it's obviously describing different people, right? So it's just like they kind of pass the mantle of who the Milthar is acting Milthar on, and the most current person has died, and that is causing some issues. So that'll be mine.
Uh, can I jump on the massive music festival? I can say
Yeah,
that 3 times fast.
sure.
I don't know if anybody else had something planned for it, but uh, I'm going to say that uh, it's taking place on a giant decommissioned war vessel. Uh, so everybody has to get on the ship, and they're going to tour beautiful areas of star systems for the concert.
Love it. On a ship, and now it's more of like kind of a cruise sort of situation. Like if you're gonna go to this music festival, it is like a lifestyle for like a month or two.
Yeah, exactly. Love it.
Okay, interesting. I think I can. I think I want to grab that one the next time we do this for sure. Like it's for sure if these people are just getting kidnapped, right? Like
Or flying right into the middle of a sun, and somebody's got to get
yeah,
on the thing and stop it.
like
Like there's no way this is going to end well.
no.
But yeah, let's put a bunch of idiots on a ship. Let's see what happens.
Do we have a name for what the deadheads, like, do we have a name for who these people, like the people who hung out with, like, is there a name for these people that are following and getting on the cruise and dragging along behind it? Like,
I
do we have a
mean,
name for them yet?
I mean, it could be just as easy like, as cruisers that might have some different connotations, but also might work really well in this one. Star cruisers, that's not bad. Um, I don't. Did you have anything?
No, no, it just
Starheads?
occurred to me. Like I picture this like Woodstock. Everyone's like
Yeah.
attach their ship to the big ship like barnacles, and it's starting to be this big hippie. Or maybe it's like those festivals where everyone's paid way too much money to be there, and they all look like suckers at the end. Like I'm just wondering if there's like what's it look like for everyone to be on the ship? Is it just like rich upper middle class people? Is it filthy hippies? Is it like free love? Is it like this uptight people in full body tracksuits who are just there because they don't want to go on a vacation of their own? Like, what do you picture this as when you
Uh,
say
is
everyone's
it
coming along?
is it Coachella? Is it the Fire Festival, or is it like true Burning Man situation? Is kind of what we're asking. But even Burning Man is getting a little bit too much. It was like more like Woodstock, right? What are we talking about? I kind of like the idea that it's been billed as all the above, but it's not until you get there where it's like, oh, it's a hologram show or something. I don't know.
Well, I also like I'm picturing like, okay, all these ships are like attaching themselves like
Yeah.
barnacles, like you said, but then whatever is kidnapping them is like making them stuck there and they can't get them off. And so it's being billed as all of the above to attract everybody. And then once they get on and they realize they can't get off and it's just some crappy thing.
Yeah. Like
And they're about to fly into the sun or whatever.
What if there's a mystic, someone, or at least they claim they are, maybe a little small group of them, and it's like a sorting hat situation. So you don't find out which part of the festival you go to, so you show up and they like read your energy, and then you are part of this, and you are part of this.
uh
Like,
yeah,
oh,
yeah, yeah.
yeah,
It's so good.
sort
Okay. All right. So musical festival,
and
cruise.
maybe it's legit. I mean,
Yeah,
could be.
yeah, I love it. I think I really want to do the next adventure there right now. I'll be honest with you, right? I think that sounds amazing. Okay, great.
Music
Uh,
Christmas good at harmonizing. He can hold his own at a music festival.
all right, perfect. So Mr. Crystal, do you want to add anything else, or like I think we've all kind of done a good job of throwing something out there, but does anyone feel like they didn't get to add on their personal thing? Like Aaron, I don't think you had anything specifically that was yours.
No, I like the idea. I want to go into the Zooey factions,
Okay.
going to war over resources. Um, I think that there's a third group of Zooey within the two free city states who are using the chaos and the conflict to demand independence for them as a third distinct group.
Sure. Third dissenters to form their own city state.
Yep.
I think that's interesting because we haven't really talked about how city states are formed specifically. There's like there are these settlements that then when the Grand Alliance was created, like would you like to be a part of the Grand Alliance? No. Okay, then you're a free city state. You got to take care of yourself, you know. And so then now that these have been kind of established, what does it look like when a like the city state's got to be pretty big, right? So the city state was really pretty big, and there was some sort of revolution within it to become two, and now there's a third. I really want to
Yeah.
do an adventure there now
Separatists.
too. I really
Yeah.
like
Like
that. It
like
sounds fun.
like maybe between the two there was a group that saw themselves as having a distinct identity, but back in the day they sort of got split and now they want to reform. So there's this third separatist Zooey group that wants to split, but that means they're now also carving their resources away. So that's just causing all hell to break loose.
Yeah, and I love the idea of maybe one of the groups is like, you know what, we need to join the Grand Alliance, which then throws everything else like, oh, what the hell? Okay. Yeah. Oh, I love this. All right. It's very good. All right. So this sets up basically we do this for me to get a lot of great new ideas to run for adventures and maybe to throw in for different awful things that'll happen in the future. All right, so now let's get back to your characters. This is part of your downtime where you've been kind of living up the good life, as it were. And if you take a look in the chat thing, I put in there the reflect and fortify table where your choices, you get two segments of downtime where you can do bonding, meditate slash rest, untold story. The target number being 9, just get rid of that. I have changed it. Um, Actually, you know what? I think that's fine doing the untold story at 9 as part of the pre thing because we aren't really doing twists with it. You're kind of getting an untold story thing for free. Um, Less fun. Upkeep your gear, or you can pay for that for free. Bounty hunting, legacy hunting, or negotiate to try and earn some money, or you can save it as a prelude action. Now, I've been trying to think of this. I have everything set up for the prelude in the first 3 or 4 chapters. I don't have the end one quite nailed down yet. So I know I've got a lot of great stuff getting put together. Does it make sense that you would know what the adventure, at least the mission is before choosing whether you want to have prelude stuff? Or do you think it's like, you know what, I'm just going to save some back, not knowing what the adventure is going to be coming up?
I could go either way.
I,
Not knowing seems more organic, but also could really just get something worthless too. So
Right.
without knowing what you're gonna do, so, I don't know.
Well, I am
I
going
would think
to. Oh, go.
as I would think that would kind of be depend on what the Oracle saw as the next adventure, right? If it's something where we have prep time, then absolutely we should have it. But if it's something that's going to be sprung on us, probably not. So I mean, I think it depends. I think in that sense, it makes sense. Sometimes you would, sometimes you wouldn't.
I think I'm always going to leave an action for negotiation. So when you get a new mission, if you want, one person can always save an action like, well, I want to be able to negotiate what we do for the mission. So that will always be available. And if anyone has something for beyond that, for like, well, I want to do this, I want to do research, or I want to talk to someone about it more, I think that's always going to be available too. So I think I like the idea for right now. Just save it if you unknowing, but always knowing that negotiation is a very viable option, especially since I wrote it into this prelude. So you definitely negotiations there. So think about what your character has kind of been doing on downtime and what 2 actions you want to take.
Where'd you post that at, Jared?
It's under under the chat window that we're with all of us here, and over on the right, you see the very first thing on there is a list of abilities, right? And then just above that is downtime segment. Okay. So are you on the screen that has all of our cameras on it where you can see all of us, right?
Yes.
In the upper right hand corner, there should be like a little speech bubble.
Yeah.
It says
Got
show
that check.
chat. Okay.
Yeah.
So if you scroll all the way to the bottom of the chat, tell me what you see.
Elementary, and
Okay.
then the effect.
Right above that, what do you see?
Advance the warp. Ah, reflect and fortify. I'm an idiot. I'm there.
No, you're not.
I was the whole time. I was just like, that's advance the warp. We already did that. That's not the thing I need to look at. I got you now. I'm sorry.
Gotcha. Yep, it's right there. So think about your character, right? Some of you still have statuses. I'm going to review real quick and take off any statuses that will have gone away. I think I need aggressive is going to stay on there because that was quite an event. I don't think Gareth Carr has any status. And then Ludwika for sure still has smitten.
I willingly kept Smitten
Yes.
because sorry.
It's a lot of fun. I think it's a lot of fun. And I think that's something maybe you can
Contact. So
and I think it's something interesting that you can like willingly deal with right now during the downtime. Or you're just like, you know what, I'm just gonna ignore it and it's just gonna suck.
I
For
mean it's going to suck, yes.
uh,
Although I guess if I like yeah, I don't know. Let me think on that. See what my other options are.
does anyone know what one thing they want to do for sure?
Yes.
All right, let's go. What would you like to do?
I think I know both of mine.
Oh, okay. Great. So we've just got done with this kind of high society type of escapade where inadvertently you fulfilled the mission by stopping the marriage, basically by having the father of the bride get arrested for an assassination attempt that you know was planted on him by you. You are also dealing with um if you have a family right now, the only person you've ever had as family tried to betray you with a plumber, and you're now don't know if you're AI or not, and you're trying to figure that out. You're pretty sure that you are, and you don't know if you have a family. You probably aren't wearing the same tuxedo stuff anymore. You probably get back in. So describe your character and what are you doing for your downtime?
I think that for downtime, Gareth has like a pretty reasonable, um, like uh, space like onesie, right? Like mechanics wear, like the in you in boots, right? Like coveralls, essentially, right? But like a sort of a fashionable, you know, not grimy and gross, but almost like a tracksuit, I guess, kind of. But anyway,
Yeah.
comfy, right? Um, but he still would have like his a bag with gear and stuff in it just in case, depending on where he went. Um, first thing he wants to do is uh, I guess it's still untold story, progressing that and like doing a little more research into this whole AI question.
Okay. So you want to do your untold story for one of your moves?
Yes.
Okay. Now you are before we were demanding that you had a roll for it. You no longer have to do a roll for your untold stories until the final number 5. So you can bank that spy thing for that +6 for that final roll, but include using the spy group right now for your untold story. Do you know what I'm talking about? From Queen Lot.
Yeah. I forget what I got from it.
So you're gonna get a +6 to your untold story roll because
That's
you're
right. Yes.
she's allowing you to use her spy network.
Yes. And I get to use it for this.
Uh,
You said-
you bank it for the final roll because there are no rolls anymore except for the until the final one.
So I can use the network, but I'm not going to roll any extra +6s until the very last time
Yep.
when we roll sixes. Great.
Yep. Yep.
Uh,
Exactly right.
I want to figure out the deal with this research facility that has a salon for a front. Um, what what does that mean?
Yeah. Okay. So you're gonna start off with your untold story. That means you can't do an untold story for the rest of the escapade, right?
That's okay.
Okay. Okay. Uh, so you're trying to figure out. It has the salon front to it, and do you have a name for the company as of yet?
No.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. So then you were just trying to figure that out using the spy network, and you're just relying on us to get a twist, or do you want to tell anything? You want to forward that story at all?
Uh, yeah, I guess specifically what I'm doing that you can twist, add the twist to.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Because
using the
you're getting
spy
down
network.
there. This is your fourth part, right? This is your fourth
Mhm.
step. Yeah, so the next one you have to go on an adventure to solve it, really.
Yeah,
So,
that's all right. This is
okay.
enough on his mind that he has to do it. I think.
Okay.
Um, the using the spy network to completely uh, dismantle whatever this front is, so that it cannot exist anymore, and in the process and in the chaos, actually getting the information about the research facility that it's hiding from. Um, and he's willing to get pretty dark with it to do it. But his last objective is to find out, to actually get information out of that research facility, or if it's, make sure it's still there, any of that kind of thing. Just he wants like one concrete something that he can work with.
Yep. Okay. All right. Does anyone have a twist? I've got something to throw out there to at least get it kicked off, unless someone's got a good idea. All right. I think your old friend Flubber knew that you were AI, and it was his contract to kill you, to assassinate you, and he was hired by your parents or your creators, but you don't know who that is just yet, and that will be the final adventure. That's one idea. Or actually, you know what? The final adventure could be tracking Plubber down too, and then start a new untold story of once Plubber gets that information. Then now you got a whole new thing you got to figure out.
Sure, I can dig it.
I'm just gonna put a +1 on that. Yeah,
And we can always
go
use
for
stuff.
it.
We can always do stuff that we've come up with too, like what's happening in the warp. I went through and just took a look at allies and enemies and the satellite cast members. If there's something that maybe we can try and tie in together. I was really trying to find if I could figure out some people that we've already met that could be his parents or one of his, or like one of the scientists that created him. I couldn't find anything that really matched, in my opinion. But if you guys have something that are like, oh yeah, that would be cool.
I don't know that I have anything interesting to add either. And my creative brain is not as
Yeah,
strong.
it's tough to start on the untold adventure, untold stories. I might take
Yeah.
those out for the downtime. I think.
Well, maybe that's the last thing that we do in downtime, kind of like get our
Yeah.
brains working on other stuff and dig into
Yeah.
the part. Sorry, guys.
No, not at all.
Jumping right in there.
Well,
Also just trying to remember all the details that go into that too, like the salon and like what all of that. Just trying to make it all click in my brain again.
Mhm. And remember, it's a twist. It can be as far left field as you want, right? Because it doesn't have to take it. It could be you're the Antichrist, just like, or something like, yeah.
do we know, Ludwika? Do we know what was going on in your lab? And could there be any way that these might be related somehow?
I think we've implied that they are related. I
Okay.
believe that's already like established.
Now, it's been implied, but we haven't linked them
That's
because I want to
true.
make sure that that's Ludwika's story. If Ludwika wants to tie those,
Right.
then Rachel can say, yes, I want to tie those together.
Gotcha.
But if you don't, right now, it's just implied. It's not, Raven Tech is not specifically tied.
Got it.
Ooh, I know what I would do to add to this if we can.
Do you get
Can
to
I?
add your own
Do I, get to
twist?
do I do my own too that I get to do?
It's your story. I mean, you can tell like how you want it to go. And if
Can
we're
you
giving you ideas, great.
Yeah.
I had an idea,
Yeah.
but can you clarify for me on your thing, Eric, where it says the research facility has a salon for who is like what is Reginald? What Reginald with a question mark?
I don't remember. I
I
know
was
that.
gonna
Reginald.
say if Reginald is who you ask for at the salon, I think I know Reginald from my sciencey days, my science lab situation. But I don't know who Reginald is in your untold story. But I don't mind linking those. I like the idea of linking ours. But yes, if
Reginald.
there's a Reginald.
Well, Reginald the Third was the mugwump from the very first escapade that we did on from the bar.
Yeah, that's the
And
only
what,
Reginald I know.
Yeah.
what does he have to do with your research facility that has a salon for a front?
I'm pretty awesome at writing notes on my character sheet.
Clearly.
I don't remember what they mean.
Never mind that.
So you're pitching out there that Raven Tech has something to do with it.
Yeah, yeah, even so far as whoever is like the front person at the salon is somebody that I know.
Okay. Yeah.
Whoever like the receptionist or whatever.
All right.
Like
Sounds
if I
good.
were to go with you, I would be alarmed to see them. I
All
don't
right.
know
So
if you're bringing me with you or anybody with you.
well, this is just their own the downtime, right? Now the next part, the final, where you basically have to do an all for one roll to be able to pass it, right?
Sure.
So yeah, it's its own separate adventure that that you'll have to tell me I want to be able to
Sure.
do this, and you have to convince everyone else to go with you, or it doesn't really work.
Yeah.
All right, Eric, you said you wanted to add on to your own story, which I think is fine. I think it's great.
Yeah, well, I think I'm going to go with all of it. I'm going to go with somebody in the front is from Ludwika's uh, Razor Tech. Plubber was hired to kill me by my parents' creators, but that Plubber is also AI, and he is the AI that they were able to control, and I was one that got loose, and that's why they want me dead.
Oh, interesting. So you're both forbidden technology. It's just that you're the forbidden technology that can't be controlled, which makes you way more dangerous.
Yeah, even if I didn't know it, they're like, nope.
Yeah.
The only way this, the only way this is going to work if we can absolutely tell it what to do, and it will. And whatever's programmed in through Plubber, uh, they can control. Maybe he doesn't even want to be
Yeah.
controlled. Maybe he can't help it. I don't know. I don't know that part, but I know that
Yeah.
he's
That's a really
we both
interesting
are.
twist. Okay, great. Now we're at the fifth part. So everyone, you guys starting off with a unity point. Um, Now to do the last part of your untold story, you have to tell me that you want to be able to trigger it. Okay, and we'll come up with a goal together, which I think right now is finding Plubber, probably finding and confronting Plubber, um, or breaking into the lab. Like both of those are interesting heist type scenarios, which may involve both things, right? But you have to convince the other two people in your covenant to go with you to do it. Um, and maybe I'll put in something that if you all go in together and help someone with it, everyone can raise their bond by one. Maybe that's an easy way for everyone can do that. I like that idea quite a bit actually. Um, okay, very cool. All right, so that's one of your downtime. What's the other downtime you wanted to do?
I don't have to do mine right now, but I was gonna bond with Ludwika, and I think I want to do that bonding over this person that is from Razor Crest, if that's okay.
Can we do
Yeah,
the same thing if like that was what I wanted to do in my downtime too?
yeah.
Double
Because remember,
bond.
you have separate tracks that you're trying to raise up, right? So
Right.
yeah, absolutely, absolutely. If you guys want to do that scene right now, where would you meet someone to talk about crazy illicit? I mean, I guess all that stuff is in Free City State, and you're in the Grand Alliance, so you're just talking about a job. So probably not that big of a deal, right? People talk about this sort of stuff in your line of work anyway, all the time.
Yeah.
Well, and I don't know that that's what I'm necessarily in my brain that I wanted to meet with him about because I don't think I know if any of this is
Right.
going on. I just something felt weird at the party, and he's made some weird comments about me and Mr. Crystal, like we're excluding him or something, and I want to check in about that.
Yeah, absolutely. So tell me this real quick, like where would you meet up for something like this? Would you go back to the same Crush Pod cafe or
And that's my go-to.
Yeah, that's fine. That's great.
great. We'll try and get a sponsorship from Crush Pod. I think that's a good idea. Um, all right, so you meet with Crush Pod. I'm gonna go on mute. I'm gonna grab a soda. But yeah, Ludwika, kind of describe what you look like and get us kicked off.
Huh. I am a humanoid shaped colony of bacteria. It's like a teal blue green kind of color. So kind of like swirls of bacteria and things. And generally I take a human shape. But we are all one like large mind and can communicate accordingly. I don't know what else there's to add about Ludwika.
Color are you? Did you say?
Like a
You
blue
pink?
green teal
Blue,
color.
green, teal. That's
Nope, just kidding. I am like a pinkish salmony color. My bad. I think I said that Prince Joyson was a blue green tealy color.
right. Mm.
I'm salmony pink. I keep messing that up. So yes, I mean, if you want to be real specific, I'm the color of like that pink ring that ends up in your toilet sometimes, like bacteria wise.
Gross.
Isn't that gross? But when I started describing it and I was like, I'm bacteria, I was like, oh God, I know what bacteria like I know what bacteria color I am. So
That's
anyway,
amazing. Oh, okay, great.
on purpose, I started describing my color and then I was like, oh gosh. Like this is like weeks ago when I started describing
Sure.
my color. I was like, oh no. At least I'll always remember what color I am.
Well, that's amazing.
So
Uh,
fun fact for everybody. I don't think I've said this. My mother is a microbiologist. And so playing a bacteria person is just really funny to me. Because my mother studies bacteria. And when I was choosing a name for this character, I actually texted her and I was like, name a famous person in your field. And she said Louis Pasteur. And so I was like, I
sure.
guess I'm gonna be Louisa and then translated it to another language. But so my mother helped me come up with my name. She was like, "There's better ones, but I'm tired." She was like, "It's the first one that came to my mind." And I was like, "That's fair."
That's
So anyway, that
amazing.
is the story behind my bacteria knowledge and things.
So you get to the Crush Pod cafe and you meet with Gareth Carr. Tell me, how do you know what he wants to talk about is a lot more uh I don't want to say severe and definitely not
Mhm.
important because bonding in relationships is very important in this game. But how do you know he's a lot more serious, maybe? Or he's got a lot more of a heavy, serious ask. How do you know that when he comes to sit down and talk with you?
think it's there's something in the way he like carries himself because like Harvin are really tall and lanky, right? Like kind of
Mhm.
long limbs and um I think usually even though he's kind of tall, he still like carries himself very proudly, I guess. I don't know. But when he comes to talk, he definitely has this more like intent, like kind of into himself posture that doesn't feel as tall and lanky and feels more like direct. That makes sense.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Gareth Carr, take it away on your side.
Hi. Uh, How how secure is this?
What do you look like? I described myself. What do you look like?
Oh, what I look like? I'm still wearing like my ship mechanic overalls looking thing. Uh, but I'm wearing a sort of a mechanic's hat almost as well. Uh, that sort of puts my big black hair up into that hat. Um, it's a little more subtle. It's not really trying to be a disguise, but I'm also trying not to make a big fuss. So,
Mhm.
like very pale white skin.
Do you guys want to role play this out, or you just want to do the roles and call it a day?
You can role play it.
I
It's
think
fine.
I think what the thing to do is put stakes on it. So your goal is to increase your bonds. That's actually both of your goals, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's the goal. I'm going to put the stakes on there. Is that Ludwika, your stakes that if this fails, that you think that maybe he's just too aloof, right? That he's just, he said that he doesn't feel like a part of the team. And you're like, you know what? I tried. It's not, I'm not going to really try again right now. His emotions are his things. I'm not going to worry about him emotionally, but maybe we can talk about other things later on. Gareth Carr, your stakes are trying to increase the bonds, but it's to get her because there might be somewhat of a link. You're trying to get a name out of her, out of Ludwika, to trust you on a level that has never that you never had since Plubber. And if this fails, you don't think that you could ask her again directly. Like you'll have to go to Mr. Crystal and see if maybe he can talk her into doing this.
Um, so I'm just gonna come out and tell you that uh, I am artificial intelligence.
Come again?
I didn't know that my entire life. I thought that I was a person and that I was orphaned and I that I was real, and now I think that I'm not. And obviously I've never told anybody this, and now I'm telling you this. I'm telling you
Wow.
this.
That's
Hmm. I need your help. I need someone that has my back, and I can't go around knowing this by myself. It's sort of destroying me.
wow. Well, I thank you for trusting me with this. Uh I'm happy to have your back and help you out, but what do you think I have to offer? Also, how did you find this out?
Uh, spy stuff mostly. Uh, there's there was this research facility that was at a front. It was this salon that was the front, for it, and uh, the salon was called Reginald's. That was the name of the salon.
Wow, kind of like that mugwump we met.
That's what I thought too,
Oh my
and
gosh,
I thought that
we
was
both
kind of weird.
that is so weird, but also like where we both have this love of small creatures, and I really love Reginald. But anyway, that's beside the point.
Yes, yeah, Reginald, he's great. Anyway,
What happened to
that
him anyway?
I
That's
don't know.
not for now. Not for this moment.
Okay,
Tell me more.
sure. Um, I was able to sort of dig into that information. I found out a little bit more, and also there might be another creature made of AI that's trying to kill me. They used to pretend to be my friend, so
Oh,
that's happening too.
I mean that feels important to know a description of that person.
Uh, Flubber.
I guess I will also be like looking around me as we're talking, make sure like nobody seems to be listening to this conversation. Can okay, so with my neuroreceptors, is that what they're called?
Yeah, your autoinducers. Yeah.
Ah, that's the word. Thank you. My autoinducers. Um, can they communicate back, or I just can communicate to him?
No, they can communicate back. It's just painfully slow for you,
It's
right?
super slow for non.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But I definitely would probably like touch his arm and say silently something about like, let's use some kind of code for AI. I don't think we want to be saying that too loud in public. You can respond to this message.
Yes, it's really slow when I go back to her though.
Well,
Let's
it's
Well, compared to
no.
use
usually I can just be like,
no.
info dump, like instantly with another centillion.
Yeah.
But with you, it's like one thought. It's more like having a conversation with
Think
a
of
non-centillion.
it
How I envision it, right?
yeah, think of it as like the Flash who is used to dealing with Quicksilver and they can just like and then now the Flash has to talk to a regular person. And for the Flash, it's just like they're waiting to get behind them for them to get money out of a money ATM. It's just mind-numbingly painfully slow for them. But for the person getting the money out, it's just regular speed. But for the Flash, awful.
That's a good way to think of it. That's like me and Prince Joyce and dancing. We were actually like not actually dancing that long, and a lot of information was communicated. It was kind of like a little swirl, and then we're done.
Yep. Yeah, exactly right.
We had a whole conversation.
So what I want to do here, I think we've already set up the scene, what it's going to look like, and now
What?
you know what the stakes that are involved. Give me a roll. So taking a look at the characters, is that Gareth Carr needs to get a 9, and Ludwika also. Whoa! Oh, 9. You both need to get 9s.
Okay. And what are we rolling?
Well, it sounds like you've got a couple different options here. I think you're probably working through panache as your attribute, but as far as your skill that you want to use, I think there is narrative answers to 3 or 4 different skills that you're using here. Um, weave is an excellent one because you're building, right? You're mending, you're building relationship bonds.
I was gonna.
Charm, yeah,
Okay. I was gonna
worries.
say inquiry, like an empathy thing. Like I'm recognizing like the dangers of this, and also
Sure.
trying to be supportive and be like, yes, this is what you need right now is me to listen and have your back. Okay.
Can
Um,
I
go ahead.
think I just like mysticism charm, like really trying to like relate on like another level with this, like really taking off my mask and allowing like myself to
Yeah.
actually take my guard away. Would that
Yeah.
count for that?
Yeah. I'm totally fine with that. And remember,
I bet
everyone starts with
I'm really
one.
shitty at it. Let's find out.
Everyone's got one saga point starting off. So yeah, go ahead and show me these dice.
Probably should have picked something with a better roll.
Okay. Well, you got a 9 and a saga point. Perfect roll.
-1 'cause I'm smitten.
Oh no!
So I will use my saga point. And maybe I will rest and restore a little bit will be my other action.
That's amazing. All right, Gareth Carr, you did get a 9 and a saga point that you get to keep. So you can both move your bonds up by 1. Okay, so that's Gareth Carr's 2 actions. Ludwika, that's one of your downtime segments, is doing that. Do you know what your other downtime segment's going to be?
If I can unmute. Sorry, Sally's being noisy. So sorry.
Yeah.
You're whining.
You're whining.
I probably will meditate and rest and try to not be quite so smitten. Like,
Okay.
yeah.
All right, that's
It's like
fine.
very much, but it's also like I've gone a lot of years without seeing him, and like, who knows when I'll see him again, and I'll be okay.
Well, I mean, you formed a relationship, so you know you're going to see him,
Right.
right?
And I'm still like, it's one of those things, like, I think narratively I'm still smitten, but also like after sleeping on it and then not seeing him, like, it's fine. It's not affecting how I do things, but I know if I see him again, it might be a problem again.
I like
That
that.
kind of like,
Yeah, I
because
like
I
that. You're taking the time to center yourself.
and you like sleep on it, and then it's all fine. It's
Yeah.
all fine.
All right, perfect. So that's just a weave check at what was that? 8 or something like that? Yeah, 8. Just need 8 or better to meditate on your smitten status to get rid of it.
Doesn't matter.
Well, from the way that you described it, I think it would be like you're thinking about it logically, but you're also thinking about it emotionally. So panache or wits, I think you have arguments
Okay.
for both of those.
Okay. I mean, it's probably wits, honestly. I'm a logical scientific being, and I can talk my way through this and be okay. Except when he's around, maybe.
Yeah, I like that idea. Oh my God.
What did I need? 8,
It's
right?
just an 8. Which 5?
Yeah.
5
Yeah.
minus 1 is a 4. Even if you took all of them,
I can
oh, it
use
gets you an
all of
8.
those saga points. I can use all of the saga points I just earned and make an 8. That's cool. I will do that.
That
What a
is
crazy roll. Is I still have the one I
amazing.
started with tonight.
Yes. Ah, ah, ah.
Jesus. So I'm
Okay,
no longer like officially status wise smitten,
correct. You can take that status off now. You're no longer smitten per se.
but I
But
get it if there's a mechanic where the next time I see him, it like comes back, or anytime he's
yeah,
around, it's
we can
back.
change it like to butterflies, something like that, where it's not just like kind of a constant thing. It's only when they're around.
Yeah.
All right, perfect. Aaron, are you around? Are you? I think we finally bored him to death. He was out of here. All right,
Jeez.
this will be a part where I'll just snip it in the recording. No big deal. So we're taking a little unofficial break here, Rachel, if you want to go get something. All
Sure. Why not?
right, sounds good. Hey.
Running back as fast as I can.
Yeah, no worries. No worries. Don't worry about it, man. We'll just probably snip that part out because it just ended right there, but it's fine.
Okay. Okay.
Um, Before we jump in, do you need either of the other two people to do your downtime things?
Uh, y- I did need Gareth Carr.
You need Gareth Carr. Okay,
Yeah.
great. So as of right now, no one is negotiating, which is fine. You don't have to.
Then my turn to maintain and rest.
Yep. All right, perfect. Yeah, let's jump in. All right, what are you doing for one of your actions?
So I have a lucky bracelet, and as I recall, I either have to spend time or a jewel to get that maintained. So I'm
Correct.
just going to spend a jewel on that.
Okay. I'm assumed that both Ludwika and Gareth Carr did the same thing, spend a jewel to upkeep their equipment, or to just let the equipment not be operational. Okay, great. So you
It's a
spent the jewel
jewel,
on.
right?
Yeah, it's a whole jewel.
Okay.
All right, perfect. So you spent the money on that. So that's free. You've got two more. There's still two actions left.
So one thing Mr. Crystal has always admired is Gareth Carr's sense of fashion. And has always thought he looked real fancy and has always kind of had a thing for that, like kind of doesn't get it, but um Gareth doesn't know. Well, Mr. Crystal was going to invite Gareth out for pods, but seeing the two of them go for pods, I don't want to do that now because now I'm just like a pod follower, and that's no good.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, Ludwika stole my going for pods thing, but that's cool. Whatever. I don't even care. But I do know enough to know that's uncool to now be like second pods with somebody. Whatever. Um, but Mr. Crystal is gonna go to the Space Mall and buy Gareth Carr a hat because I see people wearing hats, and I was out trying hats one day, and those kids that hang out at the mall that sometimes say mean things said, "Wow, what a cool hat!" And I didn't know if they really meant that it was a cool hat or if it wasn't. So I go to the Space Mall and I'm gonna buy Garrett that hat, and because I want to be part of how cool he is, and I bought myself the same hat. So I'm gonna give Gareth a hat to let him know that I think it's a really cool hat, and I think he would like it.
All right, I am going to charge you one trinket. The first hat is free, right? You can just have that hat because space malls are kind of a weird thing here, right? Because you can just take whatever you want, as long as you prove that you're part of the citizen. But like trying to overstock on it, like, whoa, two hats? No, 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 you can't just take two hats. That's crazy.
Right.
Um, okay, perfect.
So
Um,
I think my check to build that relationship is probably, I don't know what it would be a check on, but it's somewhere between, I don't know, is there such a thing as a luck roll? Like, was it actually a cool hat? I don't even know. It'd probably be something to do with panache. Um,
Don't describe the hat until after you see what your role is, and then you'll know how good it is.
and
how's this sound? If it's a good hat, you describe it. If it's a bad hat, I'll describe it.
Oh my god, I love it. So this is part of your bonding role will also be how great this hat is. Um and how this also will indicate how Gareth Carr reacts to it. So the stakes are Mr. Crystal, you are trying to grow this bond through fashion. The stakes are you will feel incredibly crushed about fashion and like that's not a thing that maybe you feel like you can ever do again and it's gonna feel bad and it makes me feel bad even talking about it. Oh man, okay. uh would you like to do the scene when you do a bit of role playing or
Yeah, I think.
yeah.
Yeah. So I think we're probably Gareth. You probably when would this happen? Probably probably at breakfast, right? You're just sitting there having your great breakfast, and in walks Mr. Crystal, kind of coffee. He actually dressed and cleaned and like looking really sharp for some reason today, like really like kind of nervous, a little anxious, carrying a big pink hat box with gold polka dots on it, tied up with this big ribbon, and just real casual acting. Goes over, gets a plate of breakfast, and sits down at the table across from you. And you know, Gareth, it occurred to me I missed your last birthday, and I know you like to dress real well, and so I just thought I would get you. I feel bad for that, and I wanted to just you've always been so kind. We just something I thought you would really like to wear this hat. I thought it was really cool. I thought it went with like your style, and so I just wanted to say happy belated birthday to you, and maybe we could wear our hats out sometime, because I got one for me too. Here you go. Happy birthday, Gareth.
Oh,
Thank you. Thank you very much. I mean, you had to make the rolls so I know how to react to it.
let's see
Right now,
some.
it is like shock and a lot of fear. I think right
I
now.
love the idea of this being a valor roll for some reason, panache valor of just like you're just throwing it all out there, being like, you know what, let's.
I kind of think I get Gareth. Like I think I'm getting it. I think I'm getting it. I think I'm getting it, and we're gonna have hats together, and it's gonna be like so cool. It'll be like Bros and Hats Day. It's gonna be awesome.
Ludwika is gonna she's gonna be the one feeling left out when you guys wear
Oh
this hat.
no! Well, wait
Mhm.
till you see these hats.
Yeah.
All right, here goes nothing. I have one. I have a saga point. So if this goes sideways,
Huh?
here we go.
Oh, wow.
I have never thought to well, first of all, I get 3 tension points, which is amazing. I will, because the 3 sixes, which is amazing. I know you're not going to spend the tension point to keep that one. I'm just going to give it to you because it narratively take a saga point and tell me the story. I want to blow me away with this scene, guys. I want to see it.
All right,
Rachel has
Gareth,
to go
Gareth,
downstairs
what
and
do
get
our hats look like, man?
Rachel. Come get Sally. uh, not. I'm trying to be in a scene.
If on the
And
plus
you are
side, we can barely hear her when she barks, if that makes you feel any better.
really
Yeah.
go find lady. Lady's got a treat.
Oh no. Well, I thought it was an awesome hat. I thought
Yeah,
This
isn't there like three of a kind? Three of a kind's a big deal, right?
during
Is it awesome?
regular gameplay, but I think I'm going to change that actually. But yeah, not during this
yeah.
part.
I think that what you found, uh, and maybe even the store didn't realize it, but these are like vintage fedoras. Um,
Well, it was something I want to throw out there too. Like thinking
yeah,
about the idea of malls. Malls don't really exist, right? Because this is not a type of economy that we have here, right? So it's a lot of people like, oh, I need to buy a hat. I need to go to a haberdashery, right? I need to go to a hattery. So someone has to make this by hand, probably, unless they
sure.
found some of the old machines that can mass produce them, right? And they probably do for like very simple ones, but for the hats that I imagine Mr. Crystal was looking for, like these are hand stitched, right?
Yeah. Is it possible that they could, like, even if they're pre uh, downfall, um, like from they're like they're like relics, right? At that point, I mean, it was how long ago now would that be?
300 years.
Sure. How about that?
Okay. Yeah.
Um, and you wouldn't know it. Like obviously, this haberdasher, where Mr. Crystal went, makes hats. That's their whole thing. But they also collect hats too. And hats have been traded and moved around. And uh, maybe they thought this was a knockoff, but this is like the real deal. And it's both of them. Both of them are real, and one of them is a little bit larger size that fits Mr. Crystal, and one's a little bit smaller and fits me. And it's yeah, they're both black with like a like red banding that goes through it, that shimmers a little bit. It's like a shark skin kind of thing that sort of shimmers and goes sort of like a reddish and then an orangish color. Um, Gareth immediately just like sweeps his hair back and puts his hat on, uh, and he's like, "Oh my god, this is so badass, Mister Crystal. Oh my god, where did you find these?" When you say mall, you do mean like that. I mean, it's a collection of stores, but it's not really. It doesn't matter. This is fantastic. You didn't. You didn't have to do this. This is so cool. Put yours on. And I'm gonna take the hat. I'm gonna put on Mr. Crystal. I'm like, and then you just want to do a little there. Oh,
Oh, Garrett, that is so much better. Thank you.
I'm
I
so relieved.
appreciate you.
And yes, thank you. Wow.
And happy
I
birthday.
Thank you.
I love this.
I'm not even sure it's my real birthday, but thank you. It's a long story.
I oh no, as we pan away as tears of like birthdays. Oh no. Um I love this so much that if you are both wearing the hat, you can either give a +1 to charm or bully, depending on the social context. +1 die. But you both have to be wearing the hat and you both have to be in the scene.
That's a special occasion hat for sure.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. All right, perfect. So that was your first action. What do you want to do for your second one? That's amazing. Don't forget to move up your bond too, because you definitely crushed it. That was amazing.
Um, I think I'm gonna keep aggression. I think that experience with the ship is gonna be something that haunts me for a while. Um, yeah, I'm gonna do a prelude. You said prelude actions are an option on this
Yeah,
one?
you want to save it?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna take a prelude action on this one.
Perfect. All right. As you are enjoying your time, you also have to keep your citizen cards up because you're a covenant. You have to do certain missions or whatever to get to stay part of the citizenship of the Great Alliance. Grand Alliance. And you come across an interesting one that you're like, "Yep, we're in. We're gonna take it." Here is the mission. The newly scanned planet Vulcan 4 has energy readings matching those needed for long range exploration, buried deep under some unusual land formations. Planet's volcanic topside environment is dangerous to most species. There are minimal results for native life forms from scanners, and there's no response from any long range communications. So, I have a question for each of you on this mission, which I need to get a piece of paper that I can write on. There we go. Perfect. Is in what here are the three questions. You guys divide them up how you want to. The three questions I'm going to demand of you is what makes the environment so dangerous? What beast is the apex predator? What plant is in abundance and what does it provide? Remember, through all of this, there's very minimal life form readings, though. So you have to account for that as well. If anyone has an idea for one of them, throw it out there. So we need a dangerous environment. It's all in volcanic, right? So there's going to be stuff that I may be throwing in there too. But I want something from you guys. Apex predator and vegetation.
I'll go.
Yeah.
Does anybody care if I take dangerous environment? All right.
Fine.
It's volcanic.
Mm-hmm.
It also, due to polarity in the core, which is also different metals, magnetic. There are massive fluxes in gravity,
Love it.
so that it's really hard to say when it's going to work and when it's not. It can either really slow you down because it's pulling, it's just dragging on you, or you might, if you're not tethered to something, fly off the surface of it. And it could happen really quick too. If you're underneath something, you could slam into it.
Love it. That's fantastic. All right. I need an apex or a plant. A predator or a plant.
I can take the predator if that's okay.
Sure.
I envision that because it's like a volcanic area, there's a lot of like little holes where like there's like steam and lava can pop up. And I think there is some type of like worm eel kind of thing that lives in the lava. And but can also, it's like amphibious, quote unquote, like with the
Yeah.
lava. So it can't be for like long times out of it, but occasionally like out of these holes will just like pop this weird like worm snake thing. Oh, but it has legs, so maybe more like a salamander. That is very hot and will burn you very quickly, but also has like a really sharp teeth. And yeah, I was gonna say like breathes fire too, but it's already like living in lava. So
You want
but
the steam manders to breathe lava? Done. Or breathe the
not
spit.
necessarily. Yeah, I'm thinking like their bite has like a venom that is essentially gonna like burn you from the inside. Like not so much like their venom is almost lava-ish, but it's
Good
like an acid
old,
weird.
good old lava venom. Love it. That 100%. You guys won't run into those guys at all. I'm just let me tell you. All right.
Sorry, I
Now,
always set up like the worst things, you guys.
now maybe the hardest part. What kind of plants are on here? And these plants, like they don't have to be dangerous. They can, um, but they are going to be relevant. Like how part of it is how do they mask themselves of having any sort of life force? What are these things?
Hmm. It's not that they mask themselves; it's just that there are very few of them. Um, they're magma blooms, and they produce an oil that makes them that just sort of reverses the flow of heat, right? That it makes it so that how do I say it emits an oil, and that oil makes it able to survive even directly in magma. And part of the reason that these salamanders are so dangerous is they're omnivores. They both eat meat, with the way we just heard about them. They also eat the magma blooms, and they've incorporated that oil into their system. It's part of the ecosystem, part of their bodies, and so that's what makes them so incredibly able to just have sort of magma around them, fire all around them, sort of have this venom in them. But what's so valuable about the magma blooms is that oil can be used to make things essentially impervious to fire if you keep reapplying it every so often. So it's great for industrial uses. It's great for people going into dangerous. Militaries love them. So magma blooms have an oil that makes you impervious to heat and fire.
Love it. Absolutely love it. You are hired by Count Dillabom of House Charon, a mid-tier consortium of merchants normally content with securing safe contracts. It would bring a lot of prestige, however, if they were to broker this deal. You get the sense that Dillabaum's whole reputation is riding on this job. After negotiations, so starting off the negotiation, now, Mr. Crystal, you are, if you want to, if you want to do this as, you're going to have some choices for what you want to do for your prelude here. Okay. And we'll hold on to that. Just remember that you have that action. So you've spoken through Mr. Dillabaum through like a vid feed, right? And there are outlines for the parameters to fulfill the contract. Secure the payload from Vulcan 4. Okay. He has other things that he would like you to do, but those are all negotiable. There's also aid in repelling any raiders and also protect the necessary crew for the MV Plunder Donkey, which is the ship you're going to be traveling on. Now, the prelude is this. It takes about 24 hours for the catapult to calibrate the transit launch to the outer rim of Vulcan 4. Vessels from the usual competing houses have formed your caravan along with the Warhawks, a paramilitary guild to keep the peace. All the ships have opened their shuttle bays and communications except for the Warhawks. And if you look at the tab under your characters, you'll see under the tab the Vulcan 4 Boogie, which I will now move over all the way to the left as the adventure. You now see the MV Plunder Donkey and its stats, 2 columns of areas that it has for the ship, the Plunder Donkey crew, and then you also have a list of the rival covenants that also are trying to fulfill a contract. And as far as the motivations, those are the motivations that you know. While the MV Plunder Donkey lacks in comfort, it more than makes up for in spacious transport hold and steady pre-war engines. The crew is capable and friendly, if a little unused to something as high profile as this contract. You have free movement about the ship in between your duties. You will notice, as part of the crew on the MV Plunder Donkey, is Klaus, who was the pilot that was coming back from around the planet with the acid rings after one of the jobs. Klaus, she was the big bear, Zooey, who does not blame you for her loss of station. For whatever happened to the first mate happened. And that was between you two. And the first mate never spoke of it, just went away to jail in peace. But ultimately, because it was under Klaus's watch, Klaus lost command of the ship and is now here. This is not Klaus's ship. She is simply doing a job now. So, for your prelude action before we get to scene 1, there is a lot of stuff that you can do here. You can negotiate. So right now, the only thing that's part of your contract is to secure the payload from Vulcan 4. Okay. If you want to do other things, pick up those other contract, you can, sorry, if you want to pick up the other parts of the contract, you can try and work through other payments, like maybe get some jewels out of it. Because right now, if you just take the contract as is, it'll just pay for the next time until you have a mission. Now, something else to consider. There are 1, 2, 3, 4 rival covenants. From the Solar Weevils, Midas, and House Windfill. And then there's the Warhawks, which I guess they're not really a rival covenant. They're the peacekeepers. Now, I don't often do this, but this is something I'm thinking about maybe putting into the prelude, so I think it's interesting. If you would all like to earn an additional saga point, we can introduce more rivals. For instance, is Prince Joyson here? Has he been hired by a rival house?
I don't think he's here on this one.
Okay, sounds good.
Like
Now there's
concept.
okay,
I'm gonna
perfect. Now
say no.
there's other ones I was going to bring into it, but I also like the idea of keeping some of the stuff as a surprise. So, the one thing I'm going to bring up that I really think would be a good idea is that right now, Nails is the head of the Warhawks, the paramilitary group. Nails could be the first mate, and Alatet could be the captain.
We getting out of this? Why are we
For
making it
one
bad again?
saga
Oh, we're getting
point?
saga points for it. Okay,
You each get
a
one
saga
saga
point
point. You
for
each get a saga
Alatet.
point.
That's,
She
that's
was
a
just going to be
major complication.
she was going to be just a surprise for if Mr. Crystal rolled a tension table thing and just be like, holy shit, it's Alatet.
Hmm.
Which we still might do as a twist, right? We can always bring her into a twist later on. It's whether she's here right now or not.
I'm good passing on that one. I, I do think from I don't know what the rest of you are sitting on in terms of jewels, but I kind of like the idea of adding was protect the crew an option to add for a sort of a jewel bonus.
Yes.
I think I'm going to use my action for that.
Okay. Perfect.
Negotiate, get protect the crew in there.
Yeah. Charm or command. I imagine you want to do command. And it's the default check is a 9. And you can get, depending on how you roll, will see how much additional jewels you can get for the contract.
Probably like wits or panache, probably
Yeah,
with command.
whatever narratively, whatever you're trying to do, right? Are you just trying to
Yeah, I'll try to
browbeat
talk him
Dillabong,
into that one.
or
Well, I'll try
just
to talk him into it. Yeah. There you go.
good God?
Jeez. Couple more sixes. That's 5 tension points for you.
Maybe Alatet's gonna be there right now. I know now. I wouldn't. Dillabong rips his mask off. No.
He's Alatin. Yeah. Nice.
Okay,
Nice.
so you pass. So it'll be 9 additional jewels upon completion of the mission.
That sounds fantastic.
But you have to protect the essential crew. The essential crew is on your thing. I will put a little star next to him. Let's see now. Mistress Calderine, Royce, and Sheila Rose are the essential crew.
Just to check in, is it 3 for each one that survives, or 9 if all 3 survive?
9 if each. That's, you know what? I think that's fair. You rolled good enough, you can negotiate, so it's 3 for each one that survives.
Okay.
Oh boy, this is going to be grim. Okay. So, last thing that I'm going to throw out there, and this won't be for any saga points, this is just for interest. Do you want to put Gunner and Desi as another possible people looking for that
We
are on the
know that
contract?
Gunner's part of our story, right?
Yeah. Yep. You guys spent some points to make him a part of your story, so
then yeah, why not?
Okay. All right. So Gunner is going to be here as well. Gunner, he was a Harvard, if I remember right. Quirk, he always said, "Hey kid." He's retired for his own ship. And motivation's going to be question mark for right now. Okay. Is there anything you can do anything you want as long as it doesn't provide a role right now. If you want to have this little window before we jump into, you have 24 hours, right? If you want to do your own scene, maybe this is probably where a lot of like some of the pre stuff that you did, your downtime, right? Probably might kind of happen here. But you have 24 hours, so you can talk to people, but you can't make any roles about them if you want to.
I think I'd want to just be able to like walk the ship and really get to know it really well,
Yeah,
and so that in any situation, I should be able to move around freely and quickly, know
for
the
sure.
shortcuts, look for any weird, anomalies with it, just that kind of
Yeah,
thing.
it's pretty straightforward. Ludwicka can like list off some of the like the stuff that's supposed to be in it. It's a caravel class. So it means it's a mid-sized ship with a crew between 2 and 10 people. It is the MV stands for merchant or trader designation, which means they usually have a larger hold. And the engine's thrusters are actually built a little bit better because they're used to having heavier loads, right? To be able to go long ways. Now you guys are taking the catapult, so it'll get you there pretty quick, but you're gonna have to fly back because there's no catapult already there, right? Um, so you're just gonna have to fly back to home planet here for Dillabong. So yeah, pretty typical for a caravel. So it's a mid-size. It's probably the second biggest ship you've been on besides when you were on Moonsong. Moonsong, Leviathan class. So that can have up to 200 people for crew, like massive. And that was a warship. So very different layout, was massive. This is mid-size, very much built for a thing. Now, one thing you will notice that makes the ship a little bit different that you've been on there as far as the areas is that it does have the retrieval bay is that it has a drill pod that it can drop. Okay. Now this is an orbital ship. So in order to do the drill, it has drop ships that go down to the surface that you attach the drill to. Okay. So none of these ships can drop out of orbit, right? They all have shuttles or something like that to get to the surface of planets. Okay. It sounds like we can just jump in, yeah? Are you ready? All right. Perfect. You get ready for the catapult transit, which during this part, you're kind of in a not necessarily a stasis per se. It's just that it just happens, right? And then you're there, and then you're doing stuff, right? Think of it as you're kind of in this weird. You know how when you wake up, you're not quite awake yet. That weird kind of terrifying feeling of like I just need to be able to move. It's like a little bit of a hitch of time that you go from there to there from the catapult launch. And you come out of the transit. As you come out of the transit, the plunder donkey is rocked from a time delayed blast. One of the vessels in the caravan has been lasered in half by an abandoned military grade drones circling Vulcan 4. You see crew members tumbling out into the inky blackness of space. Which vessel got destroyed?
Harvin Pirates.
Yeah, you guys all good with that?
Yeah, rough start, man. Yeah, that's anyone who's okay with me.
Vorset goes down. Okay, so I will go like this and just blank them out. All right, crew go tumbling off into the inky darkness, and you have the Klaus's voice rips over the comms, taking evasive action. You know time is of the essence. You must choose to aid in either evading any attacks from the drones, rescuing any surviving crew from the destroyed vessel, or evacuate. Ludwika, you are a wayfinder, but you are not military. So these are military grade drones. If you take a second, you might be able to figure out, well, anyone can do this. It might even be more up Gareth Carr's alley to try and remember some lore about like what are the weaknesses, what are the strengths, what is it about military grade drones? Like you know that it's military grade, you've seen them on monitors before. They're usually teams of people that are hired to hunt these down when they know they're here. But for some reason, the scanners didn't see that they were around Vulcan 4. What are your actions? As Klaus screams over the comms for people to take action, as over the monitors, there's just a loop of the ship getting lasered and destroyed in half, as this the surprised look on people's faces, as the other vessels take evasive actions as well. What do you do?
Our three options were evacuate, try to save the people that were hit, and what was the first one that you'd said?
Help the ship, right? So step into one of the areas and be like, I'm going to take over this, right? Whatever area you take over, the person who's normally there has been rendered unconscious, and you're their best hope to get out of there. So you either help out in the ship, you either go out in a shuttle to try and retrieve someone. Remember your pathoses. And then third thing is get in a drop pod and go to the surface of the planet right now. Basically, steal the shuttle or something
I
else.
would probably go jump in to help the ship. This ship make it down, personally.
Okay, yeah, great. What part of the ship you're going to go to help out?
What would a wayfinder be particularly helpful doing?
I don't know. What would a wayfinder be particularly good at doing?
I was just gonna
What's
read
your
more about
attribute? Like, if you want to know like what you'd be good at, right? Do you have a what's your
it. Hmm.
crew? Is your crew rating pretty good?
Yeah, I think
Okay.
so. Let me look.
So if you have good crew, you can be helpful on almost any part of the ship, right? And I think you're probably up on wits, right? So wits crew, so like navigating is
Mhm.
like would be very good. What else? What else would you
Yeah.
need to use your brain to be able to help out on a ship? Engines, like rewiring,
Really?
like this is your wheelhouse. You're good at all of this
Mhm.
stuff. So just pick
Right.
one and go for it.
I'm gonna go for engineering and making sure we can still function and have oxygen and all that fun stuff.
Check the life systems. Yeah, great.
Yeah.
Okay. Ludwika takes off towards the engine room. Gareth Carr?
I know Harvin can last a little bit longer in outer space than others. They do have a chance. So I'm gonna take a shuttle and try to save them.
Okay, perfect. And what I can say is that if you want to, you can tie a rope off and leap from the ship right now and maybe try and grab someone that's on a nearby, that's maybe floating nearby, but you have to be able to, you have to leave the ship to get there.
Sure. Uh, is there somebody that's close?
Yeah. Yep. I think
Oh, like when I
probably
get out, when I get out in the shuttle eventually, not right now.
no, I'm talking about like the rip of the other vessel, like it bursts into pieces, right? Maybe there's someone grabbing onto it, onto the side of a piece of thing that's going by your ship right now.
Oh, sure. Uh, if I see that, I'm gonna start running. I'm gonna grab my grappling spike launcher, and I'm gonna leap out to them, grab them, and then shoot the launcher to pull us back onto the original ship.
Love it. Okay. You dash to uh portal, let yourself out, launch yourself out into the nothingness of space with an outstretched hands towards someone. You can't quite tell who it is that you're reaching out for. Mr. Crystal, what are you doing?
What would the gun deck be using? Is that dual?
Crew. It'd be
Ooh,
crew because you're using using the guns that are on the ship.
I'm real bad at all that. Okay.
Remember,
I'm
you do
on.
have a unity point if you want to borrow Ludwika's crew.
Yeah. What the heck? Let's go for it.
Okay, so you go to the gun deck to try and take shots at the thing. Okay, I love it. First things first, let's go back to Ludwika. You go down to the engine room where it is. It's Mistress Calderna, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. She is in Othan with like kind of ladybug spots on her carapace. You see, she's got a gash along one side of her body as she's wrapped in sashes, and she is holding on to the central part of the thing, and she is wearing a helmet. And you know that this is uh, means that the engine room has been updated to be able to use the weave to power the engines. And so that is what she is doing. Now it has regular engines that work great. Like these are pre-war engines. They're solid. I shouldn't say they work great. They're like solid. They're like the old
Mhm.
Ford truck of engines, like can be 100 years old, but that's gonna work great. Um, I also like Chevy in case there's some listeners that are gonna be appalled by that. So Uh, but she is faltering a little bit because she's been injured as you go down there. What is it that you're gonna do that you're down there now?
So she's holding like two different pieces that are supposed to be connected?
No, she's just holding on. She's like braced in the center of the room, which that has a helmet on her that she's channeling her mysticism powers through it to be able
Oh.
to boost the ship.
Um,
But there's regular engine stuff down here as well.
for sure. I am gonna just let her be, but see if there are engine things that need to be repaired based on the explosion that occurred.
Okay, sure. Yeah, she'll yell at you like, get the transmotor going. And you're like, oh yeah, I know what a transmotor is.
Somebody do that.
I got crew. I'm good at that. All right, yeah, give me a crew, probably wits, I would guess. Um, to find it and to fix it, default 9.
Maybe. That's better. I
Hmm.
mean, not for attention table purposes, but for compared to my last roll.
Yeah, I'm gonna have you roll a d6, by the way. I mean, now that I've got some points.
Figured.
All right, get a 5. All right, I moved it over here.
Yeah.
Moved it over here is what I meant to say. Okay. You're down in the engine room. You have found easily found the transmotor, and you are quickly fixing it. Um, you hear a yell from behind you as a
Mhm.
figure all dressed in. Who are we gonna go with here? Yeah, we're gonna go with an Iliod, dressed all in black in kind of a space suit, uh, an environment suit able to withstand being out in space, with a wicked
Mhm.
knife as he lunges at you to stab you. So I'm gonna do a duel, and you need to do
Okay.
vigor duel. I got the number you're trying to beat is a 10. I'm gonna spend a tension point to make that 13.
Yep. Bigger duel. I need to roll real high to make this successful. Yep.
Well, you got a saga point.
I did. I'm getting stabbed.
Do you want to spend anything there or no?
Nope.
All right. So take 6 points of health damage.
Oh, I forgot that the damage was based on, but it was a one. It would add a one, so I'm not
Right.
worried about it.
Yeah. The difference is one there. Okay. As
Of health, you said?
behind you, you hear Mistress Caldenia go like, "Intruders, we've been boarded. Ah, we've been boarded." All right. Mr. Crystal, you get up to the gun deck and you square your shoulders as you kind of find your ways, and you remember Ludwika walking you through the ship earlier and like kind of how things work. Do you spend the Unity point to use the crew? Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
As you peer out the targeting window from the gun deck, you see these are miniature. I mean, miniature. They're like 12 feet long, heavily plated with like shell type wings put out there. Okay. In a circular with these little wings on it, engine in the back, the front is just a laser cannon on it. That is it. It has on top of it, I guess there's one more thing. On top of it has like this kind of white crystal that glows and crackles. It seems to be charging up for some reason.
Mm.
You have a shot at it. Right now, you only see one of these military drones outside the within your targeting window, but you think there might be more. No, like that, the damage that was done to the ship was way too much for just one to hit it.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna take the shot.
Okay, nice.
So 9. What's that?
Oh, I just said nice. Do you want to keep any dice?
And this is an opposed check, right?
It is.
Yeah, I'll keep one. Oop, sorry. Yep, I'll keep one.
Okay, yeah, no, not a problem. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. Um, yeah, I'm gonna spend a tension point. I'm gonna go 16
Ouch.
versus your 12,
Hmm.
right? Take 4 health as the military drone goes into evasive action, following as you're from the gun deck as you falling across the sky as it swoops lower and like strafes right across your end. As you feel the engine start to kick in from Ludwika's fixing it, Gareth Parr, you see the military drone strafe the side of the plunder donkey, tearing out chunks across one part, disabling possibly disabling one part of it, as you have leapt yourself as a leap of faith through the darkness, spinning to turn. This has got to be a valor check, right? I can't see any other
Uh,
way. This is not a valor check.
it's a vigor valor, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Uh,
Agreed. Mhm. That's
Ooh, you feel them as you're launching through space. You have one hand out, you're spinning, and you see the grappling hook fall short of this ship. Would you like to spend any saga points? You need a
yeah.
9.
I think I'd like to spend a saga point
Yeah,
to.
okay.
Yeah, let's do that, please. I was hoping you're giving me that option. I'm like, wait a second, no. Yes, saga point.
I just want to tell you what the stakes are. These stakes are really
Uh,
bad. Okay.
I felt it before you even described it. Yeah, no worries.
The hook grabs onto the inside of the doorway as your left hand reaches. You manage to time it just right as the wreckage from the other ship was spinning around, grabbing the person around the waist as the engines kick in for evasive actions to pull you further out into orbit as you flick the thing as you're getting pulled back in quickly. Ludwika, you are face to face with a unknown, unnamed buccaneer. You think Mistress Calderina is too badly hurt to help you out. We are going to be using new initiative rules where
Ooh.
in this, how we're going to do it is that all of my guys are going to go first. Okay. Until you spend a saga point to jump in.
Okay.
Do you have a saga point right now? Let's start there. Okay. Since this is one-on-one combat, you know what? No, it's fine. Do you want to spend a saga point to go first?
Probably should. Yep, I will, please.
Okay. They are look to be intent. This is more of your typical Iliad, like taller, lithe, made of crystal. A very kind of balanced feel to it as it stalks forward on its crystal limbs. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
you get to go first. What are you gonna do? Mr.
Sorry.
Crystal, in the ship, you heard coming from the engine room that there is a border.
I mean, I need to shoot at him or try to stab him back or something.
Okay.
So that's dual vigor.
Okay. What are you doing? Are you shooting or are you stabbing? Or are you shoot stabbing?
I'm probably trying to take a step back and shoot because he
Okay.
just stabbed me. And so I'm gonna try to get out of range of whatever he's stabbing with
Okay. Sounds good.
and take.
So you're the attacker.
Mm-hmm. This is not one of my skills, you guys.
Whoa. Good roll though.
It is a good roll. I'm gonna spend my other saga point to make it
Okay.
a 14, just to be sure.
All right. 14.
Man,
But it doesn't really matter, right? 14 versus my
right,
11. I mean, it's good, right? So you do damage. You shoot him. Uh
right.
you you uh get him right in the shoulder to injure him. 6. He is badly hurt. from this. You see the crystalline pieces shatter off the shoulder, but now it's his turn to go, and he's going to try and take another swipe at you.
Mm-hmm.
I get a 9. I'm going to spend the 1 saga point that I didn't gain from that last thing. So I'm going to go to 12. So it's going to be Vigor Duel or Valor just to get out of the way. Oh my god. All right, so I
But I don't
have.
have a point to spend,
Well, I only got a
so
12, so don't worry about it.
oh,
Good
I thought you
job.
had gotten a 13 or 14 or something.
No, I got a 12. So
Huh.
I lunge at you with the dagger. You dance away as from the corner of your eye, you see Mixie show up. The ship's hauler, for lack of a better word,
Mm-hmm.
as it trundles from a great speed from the corner. It's like this big kind of boxy thing that transports on 4 legs that have no knees, has no joints, and it just kind
Mm-hmm.
of rolls over and just tramples this thing. It's just crystal just trucks and spins about the room as it comes in, as it kind of stops and kind of turns towards the metallic frame, turns towards Lady Calderina. It goes like, "Yes, oh, uh, good job, good job, Mitzi, good job. Go back to cleaning, back to cleaning. You have Gareth Carr, you've managed to make your way back into the ship. Mr. Crystal, you are pulling away. Because of the engineering, you have pulled out of orbit of Vulcan 4. And you're not quite sure if you're in safety, but you see the other vessels have kind of done the same. Hey, Gareth Carr, can you tell me who you saved?
Definitely a female Harvin, like faux show.
Okay.
And what they have like black cat suits on. Is that what you were like in a description that I saw? Is that right?
Yes. Yes. Did you save Vorset? Did you save the captain?
Not necessarily.
Okay.
No, let's not the captain, but another crew member, a female Harvin that was member of the crew.
Okay. Perfect. All right. And so definitely what crew is she part of, gang? What is the twist here? What what ship did she come from? Was she originally a part of the ship that was Vorset's ship that was blown to pieces? Or was she from a different faction? Oh, sorry, I'm asking about the wrong person. This is the person that was saved. This is from Vorset's ship, for sure. We need to do a couple quick twists, and we're going to do them at the same time. And you can only choose the twist for one thing. You can either put a twist on um, the saved Harvin from what ship are they from? They're from Windfall. I need to take that black thing off there. Is what I need to do. It's not helping anyone. And I'll just put it in italics. This is the ship that was blown up. From the Windfall was blown up, and they're kind of pirates. Um, or you can do the twist on this, or you can do the twist on the assassin that was sent onto the ship. The biggest thing,
I'll do.
yeah, go.
Uh, Turns out this was a Harvin, but it was not a member of the crew. It was someone who was being held in the brig, and you know them.
Uh, Now that you are aware that you're AI, you realize as you like approach this Harvin that like There's some kind of like electrical signal that they're sending off too that is like causing some kind of like pinging in your brain, and you think they might be like you.
God, interesting. Ooh, ooh, yeah, I like that. I have an idea. Okay, well then I'm gonna go. Yeah, we'll do it for both. We're all gonna do twists on for each person. All right, so then on the Harvin, I'm going to say that it's not necessarily AI, but it's an alteration. Like yeah, it's not full AI somehow, but also something incredibly illegal.
I mean, we should just use all of those things, right?
I
Like,
mean,
there's
like
a
yeah,
prisoner on the ship. I'm getting a weird sort of interference, and I don't think that it's AI, but I think that it is some sort of a boost, some sort of perhaps it
yeah,
could be a prototype situation. I don't know.
yeah. And it's not augmentations. Augmentations are where you can replace your limbs and all that stuff. This is something more than. All right, what is the twist about the person, the assassin that was killed? First of all, what ship were they sent from?
Are we sure that it was a ship that went with us, or was this a ship that was already here?
Great question.
I'm going to say that ships were reporting in, uh, like as safe. Nobody is claiming that they knew what happened, and we don't see another ship here right now. Does that make
So,
sense? So
so assassin from uh somewhere else. Does it? Well, since we're doing this as twist, does anyone else want to add on to that or change it up?
We're hearing radio static that the other ships are being hit at the same time. At least one other ship is being hit at the same time. There we go. I don't know that it's all of them.
I like the idea that all the other ships are reporting being hit, except the Warhawks don't say anything.
Yeah.
Is that did I steal yours, Rachel?
I mean, it was gonna be something along those lines. Like it made sense that the Warhawks were where this assassin came from. So that tracks. I didn't really have anything specific to add.
Yeah, I like the idea is that they don't radio anything out, but someone sees them like from a port, just like they see something gets ported out that may be the remnants of an Iliad, maybe. But you're not quite sure. Wait, is that just a cover up? But they're not talking. Okay.
Mhm.
All right, we need to get a name for this Harbin that you saved. Um, already here. Okay. All right. So the assassins from right now we're saying was already here, or maybe the Warhawks.
I mean, a combination of the two. Like it's somebody sent from the Warhawks, but they were here the whole time. They planted
Gotcha.
them
Okay.
before we even talked.
Okay. Perfect. All right. So we're just gonna say definitely from the Warhawks, but that ship was already here, and for some reason wasn't hit by the military drones. Okay. Sounds good. All right. You guys have build your next scene on here. What I can tell you is that you are safely away and you check in with all the other ships. Yes, they were also hit by assassins, all wearing the same thing. No identity is found on any of them. And you're a little bit too far out. You can try using the lace, but because you're in quote unquote wild space, it will have to be a weave check. And anything that you miss it by, you take that in damage. Okay. Um, so the other vessels have drawn back into high orbit. You reach out to share intel and put feelers out for what they're going to do. It's your guys' turn to create a scene. And I actually tell you what, I can do this. I can give you some things to do if you want to. So, because obviously you have a lot of questions about the scanners, like why didn't anyone see this or what's going on with it? Well, part of the atmosphere of this with the heat giving off from the volcanoes is going to hide drone signatures. So you think it was just hidden directly from that. You don't think anyone was hiding anything necessarily unless you want to look into it. Um, now that you're higher up, you understand these are orbital drone series X20818. They're limited to certain atmospheric pressures, which means that they are orbital but low orbit, means they can't go further out into space and they can't enter atmosphere. Okay. Uh, with further scanner readings, now that you're here, the science officer, Goldine, is just excited to do something other than just like chipping at rocks, right? He's just like, oh my God, you got attacked by an assassin? Oh my goodness, how exciting! Oh, we're really adventuring now. What the scanner? Yes, okay. Yeah, the planet is it's unstable with volcanic activity. It's the gravity flux happens. So if you go down to there, uh, hold on to something, I guess. I don't know. Just be wary while you're down there. Um, now there's heavy concentration of the resources deep under the volcano. But we're also reading there's dangerous levels of the the steamanders around that area. Incredibly dangerous. There doesn't seem to be any visible opening our way into there. Now there is another cache of weaker resource signals being put out, but it's under some sort of strange landform down there. There's little mounds surrounding a larger rust mound. So the whole planet is cracked earth, steam vents where these eels can come out, in red sand. And anything that's keeping from being shifting all around there, staying in one place, is an anomaly. So create the scenes that you want to, if there's something that you want to get out of it. So there's three things that you need when you create a scene. One, what's your goal? What are you trying to get out of this? Right. Two is who is in the scene with you. And then three, we'll figure out what the stakes are for failure. As Klaus has kind of gathered everyone in here, or if there's scenes that you want to do without not being on the bridge while Klaus is there, where Klaus is just like, oh, we need answers. We need an action plan. This was not part of the plan, but we're here. I don't want to go back empty-handed.
I think Gareth would want to have a scene with the Harvin that he rescued to find out where she came from, what she knows, and potentially if uh, he likes the idea of her joining the crew, just for this part of the mission.
Well, yeah, of course.
Why wouldn't he?
uh, okay, yeah, sounds good. Do you want anyone else in that scene with you?
Somebody want to provide a complication and be in the scene with me? I mean, I can. I don't. I don't think it's required, but I
Yeah,
mean, if I'm asking them to join like the group, which I don't know yet if I'm going to, but if I
right,
did do that without consulting with the rest of them, they would probably not be too keen. But
right. But
yeah,
there's
I can do
nothing
that.
on your side where you're like, I want to make sure this person is in the scene with me. You're just
Not
right.
necessarily, no.
Okay, perfect. Ludwika or Mr. Crystal, or any scenes that you want to create, either together or apart?
So I would just make sure everything is back in order with the ship and maybe talk to Mistress Calderine. How do you say her name?
Yeah, Calderine. But why? What's the goal? What do you want to get out of it?
Question. I'm kind of in like a there's things I could do, but what do I want to get out of any of them?
Like,
Um,
do you want to like better scanning, better rundown of the ship? But even then, like better rundown of the ship, like I can just give you that information. You don't need a scene for that, you know?
right. That's why I'm not come back to me.
Okay.
That's what I was trying to figure out too. I was like, I don't really know what I need to do that has like a specific goal attached.
hmm I mean, you know, your overall goal is to get the resources in drill form at some point in time, but that's the overall goal. All right, yeah, Aaron, what do you have?
Mr. Crystal's, I just realized I went into the gun deck where Sheila Rose was, so that means she was down. So I'll help her
Yes.
get up and start working with. I guess I don't her. He anyway. I'll start working with Sheila to start putting together the crew to go down to the surface because I'd like to go down and help protect and provide cover as they do their work. So I
Okay.
don't know if it's what like Royce, Mixie, Sheila, and me, or whoever it might be.
Yeah, so nothing's been decided about going down as of yet. Um, like I can say that yes, you're getting together with that crew. And like, all right, this is the crew that I think we're going to go down and do the drilling. That's what I think we should do. Is there any scene that you want to put together where you get something out of it, that you get a goal out of it?
Um, yeah, work with Sheila to figure out what resources they have to know what it is that we're working with when we go down there to help plan the attack, get the strategy together, prep for it.
Okay. You don't really need a scene for that. Like I can just tell you, right? So we'll like you don't have to roll for anything. And that's the thing, like Rachel, if there's just something you just want to know, we can do like a it's not an official scene. Like we'll just do the little role playing and call it there without a roll in there. Okay. Okay.
Oh, I was hoping to maybe like help build it. I don't know, maybe get some bonuses when we go down if we do a bunch of like prep in advance. So like, yeah,
Okay.
that's what I was thinking of going with it anyway.
Oh, okay. So you want to actively well, what would you do then? I guess I know. Um
So it looks like Mistress Calderin, Sheila Rose, they both have like safety, getting the work done kind of stuff in their minds. So and Royce get the goods and get out ASAP. Like how are we gonna set this up? Maybe get some things going between us to figure out how to best defend the group and do this work as quickly as possible.
okay. Um let's do this. Basically you're trying to do like a team building exercise, right? More or less, is trying to do some planning.
Yeah, maybe get them jazzed up, right? Like, yeah, get some mysticism going in there. I don't know what that looks like, if that's valor or weave or um,
Yeah,
something like
teamwork.
that.
Yeah, I think weave might be good for weave or command for like teamwork, trying to get people organizing. Okay, yeah, sounds good. All right, let's go back up to the top then with Gareth Carr. You have your scene has stakes in it for sure. Um, so this Harvin, wearing the, um, yeah, it's a work pantsuit situation, but they're all black. You're familiar with this sort of kind of pirate type gear. They usually have like the long, like the hat, you know. As she comes to, going like, huh,
You're okay.
where, yeah, where am I? My crew.
I don't know. You're on board the plunder donkey. Plunder donkey? Donkey. You're on it. Uh, I saw your ship get pretty much sliced into half. Sorry.
Oh my god.
There could still be survivors out there, but they're running out of time.
Oh my
Doesn't look
god.
good.
I mean, you sign up for these things, but you never think it's ever going to end like this, you know?
I do. I know exactly what you mean. I'm Gareth, by the way. What's your name?
Oh, um, good question. Let's go. Boy, these fantasy name generators need to be better. Lycia. Sure. My name is Lycia. I was an intelligence officer on the MV. Well, MV. It was a battleship. I think we can dispense with the formalities at this point on the battleship Windfall, before it was torn to pieces by that drone. Is it destroyed? What happened?
It doesn't look good, but we could go talk to our engineers and see exactly what sensors have picked up and that sort of thing. But I don't know. I can't say for sure. Do you remember what you were doing on the ship right before it happened?
We were just coming out of the catapult transit. Um, she grabs at her head a little bit, and her like kind of bat wings kind of twitch a little bit. It's like, hmm, I oh boy, yeah. Um, so what am I here? Am I a prisoner? Am I what is it that you want to be?
Well, what were you before? What were we before? Reluctant allies? Competitors?
I mean, we were pirates. We were gonna take whatever. If anyone got whenever they got back off planet, we were just going to take it. Um, we uh we were pretty sure that the Warhawks weren't going to do anything about it. I mean, they're just a paramilitary group. We're not quite sure what they're even do here. The term peacekeeper is loose at best. Um, but I want to be useful. I'm always looking. Apparently, I don't have a my old ship has already been destroyed.
I might be able to help you make a deal with the crew and with my friends, and if you're willing to actually do part of the hard job, that'll be enough for you to earn your freedom after this little mission.
Okay. Give
And
me a
the
roll to
specifics.
give me a roll to convince me.
Okay. Da, 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 da,
Do you
da,
invite Mr. Crystal in to put on the hat?
da. No, not this time. I like it. It will happen, and it will be hilarious when it does happen. This is just a charisma check, right? Like I'm
Yeah.
panache and I'm charming,
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah, I think
schmoozing,
so too. Yeah.
using my kissy face. Okay. Uh, Pretty good.
Okay. Do you want to spend any point at all?
Yeah. I'll spend that saga point to make it a 14.
Okay. All right. Oh my goodness. All right.
Not that I needed to.
Yeah, no, but she seems willing. Now, you're not quite sure if she's like a willing prisoner or if she is a like in it to win it, right? Trying to prove her worth to maybe join on to another ship. Like, because she doesn't like wouldn't join your covenant per se, but she could join the ship, the plunder donkeys, unless
Right.
you spend experience points to then change that into something else, right?
Right.
Um, okay, yeah. So she's no, she's into the idea. Okay, Ludwicka. Did you figure out what you wanted to look up exactly?
Really? I don't really know. I mean, I guess maybe this like, do I remember what kind of like uniform this Iliad was wearing and if I can like identify
Okay.
anything about them?
Yeah.
Yeah, that
Uh,
would be
yeah, 100%. You can do checks on this. How do you want to do it to figure out what kind of dice you want to roll? Like, where do they come from?
a
Like, are you gonna
question.
commune? Are you gonna, what are you gonna do? It's probably an inquiry check.
Pro Okay, I was kind of thinking mysticism might be the way to go. So, oh my goodness, what's happening? Sorry, my character sheet is being weird. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, you want to do
Uh,
a mysticism inquiry? That's interesting.
er, inquiry wits would probably be fine too. Just like, I mean, it has to do with like remembering what they were in because then they were like crushed. Although, if they're like crushed crystal, is whatever they were wearing still sitting here somewhere?
I mean, it's mangled, but sure. So, depending what attribute you use, you're gonna get different things out of it, right?
Right. Um,
So, what is it that you want out
I
of it?
think mysticism to get more like intention of like why. Trying to get some why about it. Does that make
Yeah,
sense?
yeah, 100%. Yeah, you are going to be using your mysticism to reach out to the remnants of these crystals. You're doing an impromptu seance, right?
Mm-hmm.
But done in a one-way conversation with only impressions coming back.
Sure. Sure. Motivation so we can be prepared in the future. So,
Yeah,
well, I guess you didn't give me a target number, but
I did not give you a target number. It's 9. I'm just going with the default.
okay. Okay. Then I will spend one saga point. I'll just spend the one that I have, or the one that I earned here. Struggling with Google Sheets on an iPad. Okay.
Okay.
Everything's fine.
Yeah, not a problem. All right, here's a chance to earn another unity point. Okay. So, here is the story I have. Then you guys give me the twists. All right. The impressions as you read. First of all, tell me what this looks like. Like you're in the room. Mixie is cleaning up the remnants, right? As just kind of a robot shuffling around while, Mistress Calderine is like checking like getting bandaged up, recalibrating everything to try and get back home if they need to in a hurry.
I think whatever like crystal shards remain, kind of almost get like scooped up and like brought inside my colony. So like you can't even see it. It's like surrounded. Um, and then there's a lot more like you can see a lot more like movement of my like it's more like swirly bacteria happening.
Yeah,
Um, as it just kind of like I'm envisioning like a harp going as it's like
yeah. All right, perfect. And
yeah.
like I'm kind of picturing too, like when you start to see a pot begin to boil, that sort
Sure.
of, and then but it swirls, and then trying to get a
Yeah.
reading from what's happening here. Um, this is a ship. The intent was to disable, but to sabotage the ship. Okay,
Okay.
but it's to wipe out the coordinates
Oh.
was the mission. You think this Iliad had been here because you're trying to get this read, and there's this weird long blank time before action. You think this was some sort of like sleeper agent, or it was in torpor until vessels came into the atmosphere.
Sure.
All right. How about some twists out there? What do you want to give me?
Just say a little bit what you mean by torpor.
Yeah, they were in a induced sleep, like kind of like a coma, a sleepless coma.
Almost like a way to not be detected if somebody was looking for like stowaways or other life forms on the ship. It would like allow them to not be detected as such. Kind of what I was envisioning. Yes. Or not. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, why not? Yeah, it's
Yeah.
Uh, the realization is that they've been there a really long time, potentially weeks, right? Like, is that the implication of this, or is that a twist?
years.
Oh,
Hmm.
fascinating.
Uh, it looks remarkably like Mr. Crystal. Like like a lot. Uh, something enough that the lighting didn't make Ludwika think that it was Mr. Crystal, but um, a very odd resemblance.
All right. Love it. Anyone else want to throw something on there?
I can't twist more than that.
I'll throw something on here. You think the from the thing of the torpor happened was probably set in their pre-war.
Wow.
All right. Anyone want to offer any more twists? And sold. I like both of these. I'm gonna give you guys got yourself. So you're at one unity point right now. You now have a theory of what's going on. Ludwika, good job. As the crystals get too hot, basically, for your body as it's resonating, trying to read it as it they pop out in there. And Mixie almost immediately, without any thought, just like crunches it down and sucks it up to clean it up. Mixie seems sentient, but probably not.
More controlled by the mysticism controller person. Katarina or whatever her name is.
Yeah, you're not quite sure what Mixie's deal is. All right, Mr. Crystal, you are in the business of getting stuff done. You have a task at hand. You have a group of people that you're trying to gather up to get into motion. What does that look like? What is your plan?
Uh, just connect right away with Sheila Rose, and uh, I know she's been knocked down. Get her up. Start chatting, trying to get the mind on the task at hand, trying to like build that energy. And as we start adding people to the mix, like really start talk about how important this is, how we're going to get down there and just do this thing. Really try to sell it, bring the energy back. We've been hit pretty hard, but we're going to do this thing. So like then just get everybody rolling on the prep. Um,
Yeah,
trying to
Sheila
get them creative.
Rose. Yeah, Sheila Rose pops up and it's like, "Oh, you're a big one, aren't you?" All right. Yeah. Oh, thank you. So, my goodness, the gun deck. Boy. All right. Well, hey, thank you. You've done this sort of thing before. She seems to be kind of picking up and following behind you and like kind of picking up, grabbing up, cleaning up the things that you're kind of pointing out. You've done this kind of thing before?
our team's been known to go into complicated situations and help teams be at their best.
Oh,
That's what we're
I
gonna do for you today.
well, I'm glad you're here. I've had to try and lash this thing together. Klaus barely takes a look at the ship except when she has to. So I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're here. Yeah. Royce. Royce is your man. He, whatever you need to get fixed or put together for this, he's what we need. I'll make sure that he's on board too. Um, do you stay around here very like do you travel much around here or anything? Hey, I'll get Royce and I'll be right back with you, okay?
Great. Let's get rocking and rolling. Absolutely.
Okay, great. Yeah, so she gathers everyone around as you're going around talking about this kind of idea. And yeah, what kind of role were you thinking here? I've got a couple different
Uh,
ideas.
yeah, I want to make sure we're really well armed because we're worried about these steam manders. So we want to make sure we are armed to the teeth going down there because we got to clear the space for Mixie or whoever it is to get in there and get the resources. Then we're gonna have to be doubling down on the defense.
All right, perfect. Give me the role. So it's some sort of inspiration thing. And the stakes are, if you get it, I'm going to give you the status. I have a plan status, which you can use once to get a +6 to a roll, but only if it makes sense within the narrative of I have a plan.
All right. So we thinking, is that like Nash or mysticism?
Probably panache because you're trying to convince other people, right? Now, the skill I
Yeah.
think is very narratively interesting, and there's a lot of different ones. You can do weave because you're building teamwork, right? Trust in a team. You could do command because you're just telling people this is what we're gonna do. Charm because you're convincing them. Lots of good
Yeah,
stuff.
let's I want to roll toward Panache Valor. We're going in and we're gonna test little fortitude. We are just gonna just Iron Man this thing out. We're just gonna get in there and we're gonna crush it and we're gonna show the world what we've got inside of us and let's
All
get
right,
in there.
all right, perfect. Team Thunder Donkey. Let's see this roll. Default 9.
Yeah, I'll spend a point to hit that 9. Won't get it
Yep,
by much, but
yep. Wow.
Need to be.
We are skin of the teething it a lot tonight. And then wait, then like a bunch
Uh-huh.
of sixes. Like it's those are the choices.
Uh-huh.
But you're mostly succeeding. All right, perfect. Yeah, gain the I have a plan. Okay. Is for stuff that you would have reasonably thought ahead of time, right? If you go down there and there's like, oh, there's this totally weird thing, like, well, I have a plan. No, you don't. You did not think of this when you're coming up with a plan. But everything else that you know right now, we'll try and work it in there. You get a +6 to a single conflict. Okay. All right. Perfect. As you are kind of gathering people and like, um, just you see, Sheila has a real like, wow, it, she's just been under Klaus's direction for so long. I think she's just very impressed to be around someone that seems like they know what they're doing and has a plan and moving forward is very excited about it. All right, it is 10 o'clock. I want to do one last thing. I want to do one last scene together, basically deciding what we're going to do at the beginning of the next time we get together for the session. So you have the readings, right? You have a large amount of resources underneath the volcano, but also that seems to be where the most unstableness is, and also a large amount of those steamanders, right? There is a secondary area about, they're probably maybe 5 kilometers away, so pretty close as far as, well, no, let's say about 20 kilometers away, but still like close comparing like for a planet, right? Planet size, small planet, but still. Um, where it has those weird land formations, right? But also has a lower concentration of the resource um, signatures that you're getting from that area as well. Um, Klaus is looking at it, scowling, just like it's not what she signed up for. Royce is taking a look at it. Goldine, the science officer, is like, well, I mean, obviously, if we go here, it's a way more dangerous, but I don't think, like, I'm glad I don't have to make that call over there. It's going to be some, but we also have to remember that we're not the only ones here trying to fulfill this. Well, I guess I assume everyone's here for the same contract, but I guess I don't know. Sheila goes like, well, I want to hear what Mr. Crystal has to say.
So where do we think is the most resource rich spot?
You don't think you know it's underneath the volcano, but that's also the most unstable and by far the most dangerous. There's a high level of steamander activity there.
What do y'all think? Do we want to go? That seems a little intense for our build with this group.
Yeah.
Hmm. Let's go for someplace sort of a moderate. I want the risk to be more the terrain than the steamanders, but we don't want to be no steamanders. Otherwise, the other groups might be in there to compete with us. So kind of balance that. I don't know if that makes any sense, but
Works for
maybe a
me.
few steamanders, not a lot, but yeah,
well,
just enough to keep the riffraff away.
well, Klaus is like, you're all forgetting something. Just because those drones can't get us here doesn't mean they're not going to try and get us as we're making landfall. She goes like, wait, when you're making landfall.
Because we're taking a shuttle with the drill, and they're not. They can't get into Atmo, right? They can't even get down close to the planet, correct?
The drones can't, correct. Yeah.
What about, they can. But what about this ship?
This
Plunder
ship,
Donkey, can it?
so it is it's an orbit ship. Um, it can land, but it probably wouldn't be a good idea. Like Klaus,
What?
so here's what Klaus says. Even though Sheila's the first mate, but Klaus is the captain. Klaus is like, I'm not risking the ship. The land's too unstable. It's a horrible atmosphere. If the ship goes, we can't get home. I'm not willing to make that risk.
I think that's. I think that's good. If we take the shuttle with the drill, and you guys get the hell away and fix what you can on the ship, then when we're done, we radio you to come pick us up in orbit, and then we leave. You guys shouldn't have to stick around here at all, right?
Well, I like that plan.
I know you do. It's a good plan for you, Klaus. So yeah.
Uh, Gol-
Uh,
Goldine speaks up. He's like, um, pardon me, can I? And Sheila goes like, yes, Goldine. What do you want? Goldine is like, well, I think I may have found something here, and he does a motion up here to pull the his monitor that he was looking at, his scanner, to pull it on the table so you can all see it. Looking down, is like,
Mhm.
I don't know, I don't know what to make of it, but I think that's people. As the scanner is over the area with the odd land formations, there are between a half dozen and dozen of these kind of crab like rock apertures, and they seem to be in a supplicant posture with their hands outstretched in front of them, bowing towards where your cluster of ships are up into space. And at that point, we're going to end the adventure as we pan back, as you're left with many questions about
Mm,
what the hell is going on.
yeah.
And let's hand out experience points because I want to make sure that I get used to that, being able to do that at the end of every session, not just at the end of the escapade. So first of all, everyone gets an experience point for attending. Good job. It's funny about that, that if one person couldn't, we couldn't give that out anyway. All right. Um, the next part. Did anyone protect the vulnerable?
I jumped out and grabbed that person that was flying by.
Yes,
Got
100%.
that.
That's part of the pathos. Absolutely. And I would be willing to say boldness in the face of danger as well. That was a crazy, crazy thing to do. And I fully approve it. And we want to see more uh dangerous stuff from you. Okay. um uh boldness in the face of danger. I don't mind Ludwika getting that for the combat.
Mhm.
Did anyone defend the bonds of friendship? And now ask yourself, I have yet to give that pathos experience point out to anyone. Um, like not really. There hasn't been nothing that's really felt very good when I've handed it out. So think about, do we need to change your pathos into something a little bit more tangible? Right? I think you guys might do it subconsciously a lot, but we don't like really nail it down like, oh, I'm doing this to defend our bond of friendship because that's part of what you want to do in this game anyway, right? Um, so yeah. So boldness to face danger, defend the bonds of friendship, upholding chivalric romance. Did anyone make any romantic passes or try and build towards some chivalry romance?
I'm definitely gonna. I wouldn't take a point for it for this session, but that's where I'm headed towards
Yeah.
with this lady. So
Okay. Perfect. All right. Love it. Um. Yeah. Okay. That's all the experience points. Does anyone have anything that they want to spend right now? Let me take a look at the sheets real quick. Holy Rachel, you have 13. So Aaron's got 5. Eric's got 3. Are you saving up for anything, Rachel? There's a lot of
Uh,
cool stuff that costs
right, there's
more,
a
so I
lot of
totally
stuff
get
that's
it.
high, and I kinda like to just, like, have like, there's nothing I'm like, "That's what I'm saving for," but also, like, I like to have the high amount, so if I decide, like, "Actually, that's what I really want."
Yeah. Yep, totally get it. Uh okay, perfect. All right. Hey, if you guys want to stay on for a little bit, that would be awesome. But I'm gonna shut down this adventure for now. Hey, thanks everyone for watching. And next session, we will find out who are these people down there? Where did the assassins come from? Is it worth going underneath a volcano to make sure you get paid out? That's really the questions we're going to be asked and hopefully answering during the next one. Is there true love in the air too? Oh, very exciting. All right. Thanks, everyone.